Just thought I'd go live. Haven't been in a couple 3 weeks, I guess. You know, YouTube likes to mess with me, so I just delete everything off my channel. You know that hurts because we had some pretty cool live streams. We had thousands of views, thousands of comments. But that's how they do it, guys. That's how they do it to me. They strike me for a 2 or 3 year old video, and then next thing I know, I lose channel. I lose the channel. So I didn't want to lose this one. This is my 15th one to my son's channel, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to lose it for him. Plus, I went ahead and paid the Jews, for premium on this channel. And whenever I watch videos, I don't have to watch all their ads. You know what I mean? And I hope you guys don't ever see an ad on one of my videos. I just want to let you guys know I've never monetized anything. I don't want to make money off this. I just want to spread information to my brothers and sisters and have a place where we can all come and be bolstered. You know what I mean? Bolstered by each other's presence. And that was all. And I suppose that would be hard for a Jew to understand. Why would he come on and not charge $1 for anything? He doesn't care. He's just speaking to his people. What kind of shit is that? You see, they would never understand. Not for notoriety, obviously not for the views or the clicks. I mean, we were shoved into algorithmic hell here and have been for 4 or 5 years in a row. So anyway, enough of that. So how you guys this evening, man? I was just over there. Cheers, brother. Good to see you, man. And I was just over there on John's channel, Extrapolations over there. And he has been for the past 4 or 5, 6 days, really longer, but he's been talking about the red heifer and the canals over there, the Ben Gurion. I can't recall. I'm not good with names anymore. I'm getting old. But anyway, he had been on there talking about all everything that's going on in the Middle East, right? Everything that's going on in Israel and how they're shuffling everything around to make the Christian Zionists here in America and in the West in general believe that, hey, everything you're seeing is biblical. I still don't believe that God has moved on anything we've seen, okay? I'll let you know whenever I believe God has moved on something, but I don't think I'll have to, guys, okay? We've all have enough discernment here to realize that when God moves on something, it won't have to be explained in the mainstream media. There won't have to be memes made of it. They won't have to go back and talk about, statistics of who got attacked and who did this. When God moves, there will be no question as to what is going on. Okay? So with so many questions going on right now, I don't see how anyone could believe that God, his hand is in anything that we've seen here. This is all Jewish craziness that we've been seeing and always has been. Okay? God stepped out a long time ago and said, well, just have at it. If you guys want all this so much, he's like, listen, I equate God like this. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Okay? This is how I see things. You don't have to. Look, God is just like me. Whenever he stepped out, and he looked at his country, he looked at his Western societies, and he said, if you guys want it so bad, have it. It'll be gone. It'll be gone in just a matter of years. It'll be completely demolished and gone without me. That's what God said. And it's true. Okay, and that's what Jack says. Hey, without the strength of the white man and his woman, this place will be a rubble pile in a matter of years. Okay? So whenever I say I'm a follower of the teachings of Jesus Christ, listen to what I'm saying. Unbelievable, guys. Equate it to God. I'm not saying I am God. I'm not saying I'm any part of God. I'm just telling you that I live my life like I see that he lives through his son, Jesus Christ. Cheers, guys. Cheers, slow boy. Kristen, how you doing? John, yeah, brother. Oh, no, it's no big problem, brother. I was very interested in what you were saying. You have a way about you to say things and get them across without getting too crazy like Jack. You know what I mean? It's just that I get fired up because I cannot believe that people fall for these things over and over and over and over again. It's, for people like you and I and Kristen and any one of us that are in here, all the regulars that I have. For us, it's so hard because we see these tricks being used by the grabblers over and over and over again, and nobody picks up on it. I just get so, I hear people talk about things I covered and discussed years and years ago, and it's all brand new to them. And I think to myself, my God, I was on that decades ago. I was on that years ago. And here we're going to have to go to 101, classroom 101 again for these kids. And many times they're not kids. They're grown-ass people in their 40s and 50s, and they have to be told this again and again. How can we ever expect to take anything back? How can we ever expect to bolster each other whenever nobody knows what each other's talking about? We're so splintered because the verbiage we use. I was just on John's channel, and somebody brought up that we should have, I'm going to have to dig mine out because I have an old one. I believe it's I can't recall the name, John, but it is one of the old ones. Merriam-Webster, before it was that, maybe, I don't know, but an old dictionary, right? From the 1890s, I believe that was. And I still have it, and I got to find it, but I'll find it. And I used to, back in the day, I used to read that over and over and over again in old encyclopedias over and over and over again. My grandparents thought that it was very important for me. They gave me these books, and old people have given me these books over the years. They thought it was very important for me to learn the old ancient ways of speech and the thought process that would go along with using words that were old. All right. Before they knew that they were going to get memory hold. They had been old enough to know, to see and pick up new versions of these things and see that the words were gone, or the value was changed of the definition, whatever, right? And they said, here's these old books, read them, understand them, and try to use these terms if you can in your life. And speak them with conviction so that the old ways will come to the new. And so, what do you think I've been doing, guys? What do you think I've been doing? It's the way. When the shit crashes down to the ground, and it will, okay? And whenever there's no one left, all right? And you hear someone like Jack speaking out there in the ruins, that old-fashioned way, you'll come to me and you'll bow down, and you'll bow down before God, and you'll listen to my words. And you'll be like, this is how we used to talk. Listen, children, listen. Gather around and listen how we used to be, how grand it was. It's peculiar that I have to do it now, right before the end. You can always tell when the end's going to happen, can't you guys? I can. I surely can. We have to get it together. It is imperative. I know I've been saying it for years, guys, but we absolutely have to get it together, all right? Because when we stand in the rubble and the ruins and the decay of the societies that we had created, all right, and lived inside of, a lot of people that are young now, they're not builders. They've only just lived in the societies, all right? And I'm always saying to everybody, hey, learn how to plumb, learn how to weld, learn how to fabricate, learn things, learn how to farm, learn how to electricity if you can, learn how to generators work and how we can get the electricity back on after they turn it off. Well, why would I do that? Because listen, a bunch of people with colored hair and degrees in sociology and whatnot, they're not going to be able to save us, all right? When you're standing in the rubble, you need somebody who's going to be able to do something for you. Excuse me, guys. That's how it is, man. And I don't care if we have one person in here or 1,000 people in here. I'm going to speak exactly the same. I don't change for anyone. Cheers, everybody. Hey, is Reg in here? Good to see you, brother. Yeah. Yeah, you probably have some. Yeah, no one today can grasp the words I say. When the youth, only just a few, the select few, can understand. And mostly they're in my family because they've heard this speech all their lives, all right? And these speech patterns and the way that I am, all right? They can understand, but that's no one, all right? So I speak in such a fashion that is alien to most people. It's just, they can't I mean, it's just, look, I think John said it the best. He said, listen, you can tell that generationally they speak in these patterns and tones and ways that would turn off the prior generation and the one after also. And that way they can be locked in a section of time so that you'll always remember how the people in the 50s talk and the 60s. You dig, man, you dig. Or the 70s or the 80s, right? And how, oh, that's rad. Oh, that, okay. And that's a turnoff to people. That's a turnoff to people that were older. And that's a turnoff to people that are, see, that's how they separate us through our speech. A myriad of ways, but through our speech. In particular, whenever you're using it to try to espouse truths, or whenever you're using it to try to talk to your brothers, well, if there's a block there, well, see, that's why Jack speaks this way, because someday it'll be very readily available to everyone. Yeah, it will. Trust me. This kind of way of speech will be sought after. It'll be sought after whenever you got a bunch of people on there that are so tired of hearing no cap, no this, and all this jigaboo speech patterns that we've heard over the last 20 or 30 years. Have you noticed that all of the old white, hey, what's up, cat, and all that crazy stuff, and all the white ways of talk have gone out the window, and now all you have is this straight up nigger bullshit. That's all we have. Anytime somebody starts a video or a meme or something with they be talking like this, or they be incorrect grammar, gone. Okay? You're trying to drive a wedge between me and my brothers, and you're doing a very good job of it, because I will not listen to you. You have a deficiency if you're using bad verbiage. Learn how to speak. Learn how to write. It's imperative. You've got children today who don't even know how to read a standard clock. I know I harp on these things, guys, but at the end, these are the things that are going to be most important, believe it or not. I know not the clock thing, but just our understanding. I always tell people, please understand. And it's not the way that these punks say it. They did etymology. Well, let's look at the word, understanding. Well, what are you understanding? No, jackass, I don't mean it like that you have to stand under what I say. No. Get it in your mind, what's being said. Have an inkling of an idea what people are trying to convey to you. So that way, whenever you hear somebody talking all this vernacular nowadays, you could just shut your mind off to it. Their mind isn't working properly, obviously. They've got about 20 words that they use, and that's it. The degradation of everything. Not just the degradation of everything that you think you see and that you think you know about. No, the degradation of all things. So they can be built back up in the Jewish image. They always have their little idols and shit they want you to worship, don't they? Yes, they do. Getting people, you don't see me, I have mine tattooed in. My wedding band tattooed on. I do not wear jewelry. I do not adorn myself in any fashion with anything like that. I have tattoos. If you don't like that, too bad. That's me adorning my beautiful temple with stained glass windows. All right, that's the way I've always looked at it. Now listen, the reason I don't wear the adornments and do all those things is because that's just trivial crap. That's fleeting. It's here today and gone tomorrow. It's showy, My tattoos tell a story of who I am. And whenever they peel my skin off for the viewpoints that I have, they can hang it in a museum someday and people can look at it and say, wow, there was something really going on. I wonder what all that means. Hey, Martin. Cheers, brother. How you doing, man? Hey, you know what? Listen, I say a lot of things, You can bet that I can say whatever the fuck I want to. All right? If you don't like it, fuck you. And that goes for anybody in here. Okay? Don't question me. Don't ever question me. I don't question you. You don't question me. You just sit back and you fucking listen. Boy. Let's see. Yeah, don't piss me off. No, this is my live stream day. I don't go to your faggoty ass live streams and try to piss you off. Go smoke one, boys. Anyway, gonna have to do some house cleaning because there's some punks, man. There's always punks. They always think they can come around and talk shit to me. It just irritates the fuck out of me. You know, I don't like it. Oh, let's see, guys. Let me try to find a smoke here. I had a whole pack. Oh, bear with me, guys. We're doing this. Where'd you put my cigarettes?
They were sitting on the table.
People move my stuff and they have a bad attitude with me. Anyway, here they go, guys. So anyway, I don't know, man. It just gets me irritated sometimes. It just does. Because everyone wants to nitpick everything that everyone else says, you know? And we're seeing the degradation of everything. We're seeing it all. And people want to play into it. People want to buy into it. I can't stand that shit, man. This is not for everybody, guys. This is definitely not for everybody. I tell people it's not for anybody. You know what I mean? It's not for anybody. No one should watch this. It's too far gone. It's so post anything that you'll hear these punks talk about today. It just, ugh. I'm not really talking about anybody in our circles, but some of the people that I branch out and watch, you know, the researchers and whatnot through the years, it's just, it seems to me that they're in a canoe and they're going up the shit creek without a paddle, you know, you're just dredging over things that we've long been forgotten, not cared about. Like the trials of the poor Jewish people here and there. That seems to be they like to push that, don't they? If I was ever more tired of hearing about, you know, all these different aspects of all these people, besides my white brothers and sisters. Golly. And believe me, it matters, man. What's going on today matters. You know, like Reg says, we're in the slow cooker. And we have been for quite some time. And I do believe that they're going to go ahead and pull off a big one, you know. And I believe they did their ritual there with the, you know, they did their huge rituals with the April 8th. And their eclipses and whatnot. I stood right out in the middle of Mason Street and did the, you know, and watched the thing go down. I got 600 views on that and erased it. I just don't care, dude. It doesn't bother me in the least. Views mean nothing to me. I don't care. I just want to get it together with like-minded individuals. If you're not like-minded, get out. Let me see. All right, guys, we'll get back down. First 20 minutes of a Jack stream, guys. You know. It's one of those deals where you got a guy screaming on you to get the fuck out. I think we all know. Right. Oh, it doesn't matter. Guys, look. Jack is a volatile individual, all right? I don't like to be questioned in any fashion. I'm beyond that now, years beyond that. Most of you are too. Listen, the time for all that is over. We need to glean whatever we can from people and leave the shit we don't like. And this applies to me as well. If you don't like anything, the things that I say, that's fine, you know. Not everyone's going to agree with some of the radical shit that I say. Over the years, and I've said that we need leadership that is on a whole nother level than what these people. Listen, the leadership that you have in your face today is just a bunch of grabbler-based leadership. All right. The Jew man has showed the Caucasian man how to run things in the Jewish way, and so therefore, they take the systems that are built in place and then they subvert them and to their own ends, everything in the end. Okay. And so that is what I want to preach against. That is what I want to fight against. And leadership, somebody was in John's and they were saying that in the comments there, the threads of the live stream, saying that the leaders we have today are narcissist crazies who just, want to stand up there and this and that, right. And they're right. But I wanted you to know something. As a leader of men, all right, in the trades and in work and whatnot, all right. As a leader of those men, true leaders come from the ground up. You wouldn't even know they were really leaders. They're just somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can trust to get the job done, and that you can stand shoulder to shoulder with, and they won't blame you, and no. And they'll only make you a better man. And they'll only try to get you to up to speed faster so that you can help with whatever the project is, all right? Well, so that's what we need to expand that out and look at our world and say, well, that's the kind of leadership we need in our world. Somebody who will stand in there no matter how hard it gets and stand with his brothers and sisters, and he won't leave them. And he won't sell out for paper money, for nothing. Just all so tiresome. Right. Yeah, Reggie's live stream. And then the one where he took the dip, that was a good one. I watched that. That takes some brass balls to get. Imagine that water isn't very much above freezing up there at the moment. And he's over there getting into it like that. Wow. Oh my word. It's cold. It's super cold. And it'll shock the body. It's a good thing. It'll set your metabolism correct, all your function. Man, I like that though. But he got in. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and so in Alaska, there's still the sun is out, but not anything like what I was watching when he would get in the creeks before. The sun would be up. So whenever he got out of the creek, he could warm himself in the sun. Well, this wasn't the case the last time. And sure enough, it was cold. And he was saying, hey, my feet, I can't even feel them. My arms, they're numb. Yeah, I bet it is about 33 or 4 degrees. Wow, man, that's so crazy. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, like I said, we don't have to go long tonight. I just wanted to get together, you know what I mean, guys, and maybe look at some of the things that we saw in our lives. But really, what do they matter? Anymore, I don't care. I really don't. Reg was saying on his live stream the other night, I was listening because I was driving. I couldn't come on because I was driving. But I wanted to come on. But the thing is that I was listening and everybody was, it's just, we're all of the same accord now. It's like, the things that are happening are going to happen regardless of whether or not we want them to or not. There's no changing what we're seeing. We can only just be ready for what we're going to go through. Is that it? And bolster ourselves and each other, right? Not tear each other down, right? I know, I do that. Hey, I fall into the same thing, no different than anyone else. Yeah, but I just get violent whenever it comes to people, encroaching on me in any fashion. I just can't take it. I'm like that in real life too. Listen, leave me the fuck alone. I'm here to do a specific task. If you don't need me to do the task, I'll be more than happy to leave. That's what I tell people. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but nowadays it's hard to get anything done for these little safety people. And all it is just a bunch of women mostly that don't really otherwise have any reason to be in a space where men are working, where heavy things are being lifted and welded and put in place. And right, they have no business being there. But here they are with their little hats and their little, the little colored neon green jackets, and they're telling you all about safety, and they're telling you can't do that, you can't climb up that 6-foot ladder, you have to be tied off, you have to have a whole rigging system to go up a 6-foot ladder now. Guys, You have to have this on. Where's your safety glasses? Where's your hard hat? Boy, I'm telling you, I don't know how people get anything built nowadays. We have to do it at like on Sunday at 3 o'clock in the morning, or whenever nobody's there. We have to make sure that there's nobody's there so we can do these jobs. Because, guys, I can't follow all the safety protocols and still get all this work done. I have to take my life into my own hands and do some of this stuff to build it and to put it. You see? And these little kids that come in here with their hard hats and, oh, well, you can't do that and you can't do that. I'm like, well, you stand back there and you watch me do it. Can't do it. I know you think it can't be done. That's why whenever I watch, listen, I believe there have been past civilizations. I believe all that stuff. I do. But for people to say, oh, no, they couldn't have built those cities. They couldn't have built this. They couldn't have built that. Bullshit. Bullshit. We could have, and we did. Okay? Don't get caught up into believing that, oh, no, it's only old stuff. That's some Jewish bullshit. To make white people feel like that they didn't really build the Western civilizations, that they just found them, and that they didn't build anything. And give me a break, dude. I've been building this shit for 50 years straight. Right. Yeah, dude, listen, you won't catch me in with the harnesses on or anything. If I go to a job site and I have to have a hard hat, I will. Of course I will. A hard hat's not a bad idea. But all these tying off and all this stuff just to get work done, listen, man, listen. I've gone decades without falling off anything and dying. I'm still here and I'm still building. I can do it. I don't need any of your bullshit. Like I say, it's all so tiresome, and it just falls into everything. It's like no matter what it is. I mean, it's very easy surface level to say, oh, they're changing this or they're changing that. And okay, it is. But whenever you're a builder and they're changing the codes and the way that you build, and that you see that you can't build anything anymore, well, then you'll start to really understand just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't tie off either. No way. I have found that all the stuff that is safety oriented really gets me into a lot of trouble. I trip over anything or whatever. I could fall because I have this stupid shit I'm tied off to. I can't trust my own self. I have to keep on reaching for all these ropes and all these things that I'm tying off to. And I worry more about that than the job at hand. And the next thing you know, I get injured or hurt. I've seen it a million times, guys. And it's in direct correlation with control. Just control over anything you can get, and fighting and infighting and bullshit. They spread dissension no matter where we go, from OSHA all the way through to the verbiage and the speech patterns that people will talk in this very live stream. Just anything that you could do to make people mad at each other and angry and lash out. I show those things in real time. Yeah. It can be a nightmare. It's true. Yeah, you go up a 5-foot ladder and you have to have a 6-foot cord. So if you fall, at least you'll have imagine laying in the floor over there with it. Hey, I got my gear on and everything. I know my back's broken now, but at least I had my safety gear on. Yeah. You got saved one time? Right. JLG lift. Came and saved you. See, then it saved you. Well, good. I'm not saying that if you're 40 feet off the ground and you're doing something, you should be tied off. There's times in my life whenever I was glad to have a harness on. But I'm talking about whenever you're 5-6 feet off the ground and they want you to have a harness on, and the harness length is 6 feet. Okay? I'm going to hit the deck before I ever play out all the rope on the safety harness. It's just a hindrance that I don't need. We're being, just tied down with everything that you could possibly be. Look, like our jobs aren't hard enough that we have to have people in overlording us on every little aspect of it. And that's whenever you know that, hey, I guess they're making up jobs for people. Yeah. And then you think to yourself, well, if you were real smart, you'd go, well, you know what? I guess for insurance purposes, if they keep on hiring all these safety people all over the place, and they keep telling the safety people, hey, ride these people, and that they can get a break on their insurance. You see, that's all it boils down to is money, 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 money. But sometimes I want to go to the big heads of these corporations and say, hey, do you want this shit built or do you not? If you keep putting all these roadblocks, in our faces, this is what I used to say when I was young. If you keep putting all these roadblocks in our faces, we're not going to be able to get anything done. It's just going to be hell. It was always intended to be. So that even the best amongst us, even the most clearest brains and the most logical people will have that in front of them every day. I have to go through all these things just to be able to do my job and get all these certificates and all these, you got to get this work permits and these burn permits and all just to go do something that I could do in 5 minutes. I have to spend 5 hours getting all this shit rounded up. It makes my life a literal hell. And then most people want to throw their hands up and say, forget it. I don't care anymore, man. I just don't care, right? Yeah. Just demoralize the people in every way you could, even the best amongst us and the strongest. Well, good luck with that, because I simply won't stop. I'll find a way. Yeah. Yeah, they don't know what we're doing, brother. Whenever a person comes to a job site and has no idea of what they're seeing, the construction and the only thing they can look for is, hey, are they wearing safety glasses? Are they wearing this? Are they doing that? Are they going by the protocols set forth on these books? I have no idea why they would need to do any of these things, but I'm wondering, are they doing them? That's why they get no respect. It just drives a wedge between people. Because I'm thinking, man, I wish this guy would just have an industrial accident and fall off this fucking side of this building so I can get all my work done. You know? Instead of, hey, man, let's get it in. Hey, get yourself a fucking pair of gloves there, brother, and get over here and start helping. Start clearing out. Start doing something. No, they're in charge of you. It doesn't matter, guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. You know? And if everything collapses, then I'll just do it in the collapse. I'll just do it after the collapse. Somebody's got to build it all back up again. It'll be guys like me and Steven. We'll do it again, man. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Is there anything you'd like to speak on this week? I mean, you could just drop it in the chat, I guess, if you want to. Personally, like Reg was saying the other night, he hasn't been watching any of the stuff that has to do with politics or any of it, and he's felt a lot better. He's felt freer, better. Well, look, bros, I haven't watched any of that shit in years. I deduce what's happened through people posting stuff that I watch, and you guys, and then comment sections and whatnot. I do not actively look for anything. No news. I could care less what I don't care. All I'm looking for is how my people that I like and people that have made very wonderful comments and videos for me and for our people, I look at what they have to say about situations, and that gives me a good bead on what's happening in the world. Because if those good people look out and see something wrong, then maybe I should take note of it myself. And that's all. Personally, I don't care. Remember the day the Hamas bullshit went off, the October 6th bullshit or whatever it was? I said, guys, don't believe it. Don't believe a Jewish construct attacked itself just so it could. This is some 9/11 shit, guys. We're attacking ourselves here. If you get involved in talking to and about any of that stuff, it's just you'll just go in. It's a circle that it's Ouroboros for you, and it's just a rabbit hole that you just tumble down, and there's no use in it. You'll wake up at the bottom of the rabbit hole, and you're just gonna have to climb yourself all the way back out of it to see sunshine again. Okay, so don't go down the rabbit hole. Trust Jack. It's all a hoax and a psyop. There, end of discussion. No more rabbit holes to fall in. It's a hoax and a psyop. Don't believe it. Don't get worried about nukes are going to kill us. They're trading money for nukes over there. Oh, there's going to be a big bang. I hope that whole area over there turns into glass. I could care less, dude. Good riddance to bad rubbish. I don't care. Why do we care what these people have to say? Why do we think that their places are holy? I don't. It may be holy to them, but they're not holy to me. So don't put your filthy, filthy Jewish belief system on me. All right? I'm a follower of the teachings of Jesus Christ, not a Jewish belief system. Jesus called those filth Jews out, didn't he? To his own detriment. Man. And then don't make a religion on me. Don't do that. Where they do, got religions all over the place based on Jesus, and they all say different crazy things, and they all go away from his core belief system, which was, hey, don't be charging usury on stuff. Don't turn my Father's house into a den of thieves. Based shit. My Father's house, this place that you live in, this is your Father's house. It is a den of vipers now, all right? It was turned into a den of vipers. He didn't mean that filthy Jewish synagogue. He meant his Father's house. I beat my head up against how to explain these things every time I go on. Every time it's just me sitting here thinking, how can I help them, Lord? How can I make them see? And not you guys that are in here. You could explain things to me. But what I'm saying is, whenever you're trying to explain it, whenever you're trying to bolster your brother and your sister, it's so easy to get taken down, It's so easy because that's all they ever want you to do is just to look at who's this and look who's fighting over here and do that. Man, nobody ever, there's no cohesion. And I had tried to explain to people in past live streams and generationally. So like I have been saying, guys, if they're inoculating every generation with a different mRNA vaccination, let's just face the facts. Well, then if they're doing that, then there is going to be a wedge driven between every subsequent generation, and we will never see eye to eye, and we will never get it together. And every generation will wonder why they couldn't see eye to eye and they couldn't get with their people, because there was just no way. There was a wedge driven between them and they couldn't understand it. Yeah, it's a genetic one, a genetic wedge. You'll never. So that's why I try to speak in terms that are easy and for everyone to understand, and easy. And try to speak about things that are very, very broad so that we all know what we're talking about here. And then we can focus down on them if we want to. It's not because I'm lazy and I didn't do my research or I wouldn't want to. It's not that. I've seen it. When you watch things for 5 decades in a row, you can let it go. You can let them go and be like, all right, I see how the system works now. There's no reason for me to continue to bang my head against the wailing wall, is there? And kiss that wall. There's no reason to make an idol out of that wall that I keep banging my head against, is there? No, there is not. It's time to take everything you've learned and apply it and tell everyone, let everyone know in your own way. And if you're good enough, if you learned enough and you were clear enough, then people will finally understand. And if they don't, it's okay. It's okay. It wasn't for everyone anyway. But that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do live streams, and I'm just going to erase them. The only live stream, the only thing that will be left up on this channel will be the Pro White Edition Jack stream. That's all. I'm going to erase this immediately upon completion. As soon as I press the end button, I'm going to go erase this live stream. Nobody will know it existed, but those that watched it. Because it's just not, they're going to start striking me down for old stuff, then there won't be any old stuff. I just want people to know where I stand, and the Pro White Edition is a perfect representation of how I think in every way. It's all in there. It's the last live stream that ever really needs to be done by me, and it may be, I know a lot of people like to come on and watch these and all that, and we were getting some views and all that. I don't care about that. I don't care. Jack streams are a place where I like to come and listen to the people, and because I've been listening and I've been watching you guys, and I've been watching you make comments and how you speak to each other, and you guys are getting it together. You did it. The job is complete. There's nothing more for me to do except sit back and enjoy it. And see what it is that you guys come up with, you know? Jack's been doing this a long time. You know, you wouldn't know it, but yeah, I have. My whole life. And I don't want it to seem like it's a waste of time, and I know that it isn't, because I hear in the world, I hear the way that I speak coming out in people. I know it's true. You put that kind of shit out in the world and it'll come back to you. All right? And I've done that. I made my mark on that. And in the future, it'll just get worse and worse as this Jack mind virus just goes through everyone and says, yeah, we don't want your control systems. We want our own way. How do we do that? Well, I don't know. What did Jack say? Yeah. Here's how you do it, boys. You drop all pretenses, you drop all bullshit, and you get you in there shoulder to shoulder and do it. You don't petty fight over dumb shit. You don't petty fight over stuff. You don't bring stuff up. You shut your fucking mouth and you get to work. And you will see results. You know, I look out and I see all these kids, and the main thing, you know, talking all this crazy shit about pronouns and DEI and all this crazy shit, right? Everything that they preach at these Jewish capitals of education, the universities, right? And everything you hear on these everything. And all I know is that their systems are working on these people's feeble minds. These are not people that I would ever want to get it together with. These are people that I don't care if they drop dead. How many people took that jab? How many people didn't give a damn what Jack and people like him were saying? Hey, don't take that. That's an experimental thing. You're going to die. Something wrong is going to happen. And thousands of percentage increase of heart disease. And people are starting to drop dead now. They've quietened it down. They don't want anyone knowing. But I've known people that have died and dropped dead, all right, from this. And I told them, don't. I'm not, sad that I didn't take that jab. Psh. The only people that are sad they took it are people that are having problems. And they should have listened. They shouldn't have had that in their mind. I'm not going to listen to this guy. Who is he? Who cares? And people that were trying to warn them. No, they went along with the crowd. I don't care if those people drop dead. I don't care. We need a great culling so we can see who's with us and who's not. So in the final battle, we'll know. There will be no doubt about it. Who's with you and who's not. It's Jack, man. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even do it. I don't even get involved in reading the news anymore. I don't go to my feeds, look at the news. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm beyond it. You know what I mean? It matters not to me. I'm still going to get up and I'm still going to go. Whenever I go down and the guard and the people are all across the street and there's military in the streets and all that shit, well, I'll just go home and get all geared up and plate carried up. Okay? That's how I live my life, guys. You want to fuck with me? I'm going to come out and fuck with you. You want to put guns in my face? Give me 1 second. There's a gun sticking in your face now. You want to stab me? Hold on a second. I got a sword for you, buddy. You want to do scripture towards me? Here, I got some Jesus Christ for you, man. Just shut your mouth. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. I wanted to do a disjointed as hell stream for everybody today. So they can remember that this is how I am. This is how things go down in my streams. I don't care. A lot of information. But you're just going to have to start remembering it because I'm going to start erasing all my streams. I don't want anyone watching these. Just the people who come in and watch. Otherwise, I don't want you watching it. If it wasn't important enough for you to watch it when it was live, it wasn't important for you to see it. Because the Jack Stream Pro White Edition's for everybody else but white people. It's not for whites. It's for everybody else to let them know that there is a white man that still cares about his people and that we're still out here and that you better beware. All this other stuff I'm talking doesn't need to be heard by anybody. It's just a bolstering for my brothers and sisters that do come live every time and that do want to hear me speak and I do want to have interactions with. Other than that, we're erasing it. I might give an hour or two afterwards for people to straggle in, because I know how it is. But we'll start doing that, guys. We'll spread the word that, hey, man, these things are erased. So it's only for the very few. And that's how I always wanted it to be. You know what I mean? This shouldn't be viewed by anyone. What was that South Park thing? They always put a header on the front of all their cartoons, and it says the same thing. Hey, this shouldn't be watched by anyone. And it shouldn't. They were spreading the Jewish bullshit propaganda the whole time, under the guise of that they were really showing you. We all knew it. That's why it rang funny to us in a lot of instances, is because, yeah, we already know. They're doing this in cartoon form now, but these are truths that we all knew. But they always put their little Jew, you notice at the end of every single one of it, the little Jewish boy, Kyle, he always has, at the end of every South Park, and I haven't watched South Park in over 10 years, but at the end of every, and I'm suspecting it's the same as it ever was, but at the end of every one, they do this huge show. And no matter what they showed on that show, well, at the end of it, the little Jew boy would come up there and explain and extol the virtues of fucking Jews on everyone. All right. And those types of people. You know, those woke people. We should all love each other. We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do that. Meanwhile, the little Jew kid was the one that injected all that venom and hatred into the shit to begin with. And then at the end, he's going to tell you that, oh, we shouldn't do that. Shit. Everything you see is a veil pulled over your eyes. Those are Jewish terms. Why would I say that? This is a Jewish constructed lie that we live inside of, a usury system for you and me to be enslaved in and not even know, to believe that you have freedoms that you don't have. They took the greatest aspects of everything from around the world, all the best places, all the worst places. They took all the aspects that they wanted and they put it on this new world over here, America. And we live in it, and it just permeates the Western societies in general, from Europe to America and back again to Europe, through this speech patterns that we use and the devil system that we live in, until everyone's speaking in codes, everyone's speaking in filthy, filthy ways that the Jews constructed for our lives, while they sit back and rub their hands together. Oh, laughing at us, scoffing us, waiting for their Moshiach. This is what it all boils down to, with all the red heifers and the canals and this and that and all the eclipses and everything. All the concern you have for everything in this world is a fable, a Jewish fable. Don't concern yourself with Jewish fables. Titus 1:14. The book itself told you, hey, man, don't be worried too much about all these Jewish fairy tales they're telling you to get you to take your eyes off of the Lord. I'm not concerned in any way. I go about my day. If anything obstructs me from going on my day, that will be pushed out of my way forcibly and dealt with. And I'm not going to sit and I'm not going to worry about what might come and what might happen and what. No. You're going to be anxious if you're always worried about the future. And you're going to be really depressed if you only ever think of your past. The only thing you have is right now. There is nothing else. Reg spoke on that the other night. It was true. It rang true. And I know that. We've spoken on it before. We only have the present. That's why they call it the present. It's a gift. I made videos called The Gift years ago. Man, it's why sometimes I feel like we're just going over stuff that we already knew. But sometimes, you know what? It's true, guys. Sometimes it's not such a bad idea to go and revisit things and see them with a new set of eyes and understand them. Because what I understood when I was 30 is a far cry from what I understand when I'm 50, right? So that's true. And perhaps I should leave things up for posterity's sake, but not if it's just going to get taken down. Not, you know what I mean? Some people should probably take these live streams, screen record them, and put them on Rumble or Odyssey or whatever for posterity's sake. So someday some person can watch them and say, oh my God, there really have been people like this whole time. Oh my God. All right. But it won't be me because I don't care. I don't care. I'm just the guy that says the words, right? I'm not writing them down. I'm not no. Yeah. Yeah. Buy ammo, buy your stuff, get yourself ready, guy. You know, it never hurts to be ready. I mean, I've had people tell me, oh, yeah, man, it's really not going to do you any good. I'm like, I know if the Lord truly does do what he says he's going to do, then it won't matter how many pew-pews I have, I guess, or bullets or whatever, right? I guess that's true. But for the hordes of Dindus, people of color of all kinds, well, I'd like to inject some lead into their lives prior to whatever's going to happen. Just so they know, ooh, the stinging knowing of that, hey, that white man wasn't playing around. He wasn't messing about. We shouldn't have probably tried to steal his stuff. You know, and I look at those blacks, and I have discussed this for years, but we'll talk about it one more time. I look at those blacks up in those cities and what they say at those city councils and all those places now. They're saying, these people are coming up here and they're trying to get our Gibbs me's. But they're not wrong. They're not wrong in as much as, hey, who are these new people coming in and trying to take what we got from the white man? You know, these white men paid their taxes and went to work and did all these things for us and built up all these communities that we now live in. And they moved out, and white flight creates more and more communities for us to go eventually and steal and rob and rape. And if we can't afford to do it, then they'll give Section 8 housing so we can just be injected for free into their neighborhoods. And they'll have to move again and again and again. It's a never-ending thing. But I can't disagree with them getting mad saying, hey, you guys never really put anything into it. You people, you new immigrants, you didn't put anything into this. And the new immigrants come and they say, but we will. We will. You blacks are just more than happy to sit on your ass and watch the white man do everything and defame them for every move they make and blame them for every society they built up and tell them that they're racist inherently and all the things while always selling them the drugs, getting high with them, doing this, doing that, fucking their kids, fucking their girls, just robbing and raping and pillaging. And here comes the Latinos. Hey, we'll work. We don't want their women. We don't want your women, your guerrilla women. We don't want that. But we do want these structures, and we do want the structure of society that's here. And we'll work within it. You lazy fucking niggers. We'll work within it. Because the white man won't stand. It's the sickest shit I've ever seen. Well, this white man will fucking stand. Let's get it together.